Well, hello and welcome and welcome and hello and hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very special live edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more, guys. It is Tuesday, I believe it's August 27, if I'm not mistaken. It's let's just say there's 30 minutes left in the trading day. So it's about 12:30 my time, 3:30 out in NYC, out in Jersey. Hope it's a great day wherever you are. Thank you for joining me. There are exactly 0 people watching this, so I don't know if anything's working. There's somebody. There's 4 people. Bread Dab is here. Bread Dab is here. His body is ready. His or her. That's good. Your tone, you're tight, you're virile, you're vigorous, you're potent. You're ready to pounce, Bread Dab. Good for you. Keep those abs tight. That's what I do. I like to eat about a dozen donuts, follow that up with some delicious chicken strips. Really keeping me fit. You bastards. Anyway, what's up, Alberto? How you doing? Finally, we got a wrench in the house. This thing's gone totally unmoderated for far too long. You guys are out of control. We got Matt Flo in the house. We got Javier. The great Javier, hello and welcome, welcome, and hello, like you tall. Jeff Presley, yo, Jeff's back. Jeff was with us last night, holding us down in the comments. We got Joel Madsen here, not selling any shares until 700. Okay, you're in the 700 club. I guess you're going to pray about that and get those shares up to 700 big ones. Maybe you're talking Turkish lira. I'm not really sure. We got T. Johnson in the house. Hello, everybody. Welcome and hello, guys. It's going to be a super quick video. I know I always say that, but I just want to tell you guys what's going on, why the stock is up, quote unquote. It's not really up. It's up less than Upstart. Upstart's going absolutely crazy. It's up, I believe, about the same amount as a firm. Some of these other finturds. SoFi is a vastly superior company. But you can see the volume was pretty low and the algo was completely in charge. And then just a little while ago, the stock was, trying to break through 775 all day. And then just some huge bulls came in and, looked like bought a couple of million shares all at once right here. Around 238, 239, pushed it up, and now the algo is trying to basically push back down. Time will tell if they have any success. Sorry, I don't even have my screen up. But basically, yeah, you saw this huge push up off 775. Looked like it went up all the way to about 790, 789, it looks like, and then pushed back down to 782. But guys, this thing is not going back down into the fives. This is now a matter of math. This is a matter of inertia. This is a snowball rolling downhill. Noto and team have put everything in place that's necessary to just start printing money. And as they scale further, these marginal revenues they're bringing in are going to basically come down to the bottom line as net profit at higher and higher percentages as they grow more and more. That's the whole deal with this business model. It's not just that they don't have branches, they don't have physical real estate, they don't have to add extra employees, branch managers, custodians, they don't have to pay insurance and rent and all these other things that the mega banks are paying. It's not just that cost structure, it's the fact that the wheel is finally going to function and the customer acquisition cost is going to come down dramatically. And also the things like stock-based compensation. As you scale, remember, we were complaining so much about stock-based compensation when SoFi broke through that $1 billion sales barrier. Well, last year they broke through the $2 billion, and I think it's only going to be 2025, in my opinion, that they're going to break down the $3 billion barrier. Because I think SoFi is about to have a massive, massive increase in activity. And I think everybody's underestimating. I talked about it, student loans, home loans, but I don't want to get bogged down all the same stuff. I just want to tell you what's going on, what's going to happen. The algo is working very, very hard. You see some of these crazy Ivan candles. Like this one comes in, it says low is 757. It had another one back here where it said the low was 757. So I think they might be trying to sort of rig a bid and just drive the stock extremely low to create some kind of really artificial, shady stop out, stop loss type of raid. But I don't know exactly what's going on. These charts, these Yahoo charts suck. So you shouldn't put too much credence in them. But in terms of, it always reminds me of the Big Lebowski. He's like, what about my briefcase? He's like, yeah, no luck or the credence. Like he's looking for some CCR tapes that he had along with the briefcase with $1 million in it, quote unquote. But we all know the Big Lebowski never put the money in there. Gold brick and turd that he was. But anyway, guys, this thing has not broken above this level at all since last year, basically that New Year's pump. And it's been struggling 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the third, this is a triple top here. This was basically a triple top here. Couldn't break through. We're getting confirmation. Basically, we're getting confirmation. A market is being made here, and people are like, okay, is this thing a short squeeze right now? They're returning shares on low volume, so it looks dramatic, but they're only returning 3.6 million shares. What you'll note, which is critical, is shares on loan and short interest are now basically the exact same thing. And Ortex was underestimating the short interest dramatically, but supposedly today they're returning about 3.6 million shares. This ran flat, popped up after hours. Looking at cost to borrow, its cost to borrow average now is 0.9, which is actually a lot higher than it used to be. This minimum figure is usually negative, and the max is usually around 1 to 2, and that's it usually tops out at 7.85. So the fact that it's 7.94 is somewhat unusual. Let's see, guys. We got TJ in the house. TJ the Wheel Deal. Hello and welcome. Welcome and hello. Had a great appearance with TJ over on the Canadian Home Shopping Network, aka the terrible T's, Tanner and Tevis, and their cohorts over there. Good to see you, TJ. What's going on? I got C-Bar Engineering in the house. What's up, C-Bar? Got Clap My Dog, Alberto. Who else is here, guys? Of course, the great Matt Flo, great Low Country Luton Pond, who's also my personal surgeon. Hope both teams have fun. My two favorite spades are Sofi and the Iraqi dinar. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's never heard of anyone trading the Iraqi currency at all ever in my life. It's the first one. And I actually do know a few Iraqi people, but anyway, David M., when do we see 10 again? I think it could be just like that reboot of that Sex in the City, and just like that. Anytime. Like, all it's going to take is more covering. I mean, you're talking about close to 200 million shares short into very, very strong fundamentals, into these rate cuts, explosive demand. And I think what people are really underestimating is how the fair value accounting is going to, spike the books initially on all these originations, because they're going to originate a lot of personal loans, and those are going to be extremely high quality personal loans. I don't know how fair value accounting treats the home loans, because I know they're not holding those on the books. They're laying those off. So I know, all I know is student loans year on year, dramatic increase. It was like 400 million, 700 million. Home loans was even more dramatic. So if we see a 0.5 point rate cut, the originations are going to be absolutely out of control in Q4. Those numbers are going to spike incredibly. There's going to be a huge beat just from this year for what we see in 2024, or from what we see in Q4, if we get that 0.5 point rate cut. And if inflation's under control, there's just no reason to create a recession if it's not necessary. I mean, the economy is resilient. There's so much pent up economic activity, so much pent up growth that was just completely stifled. It's like COVID, basically the pandemic, it just took everything and put it on ice. It was like we had this dynamic economy. Everything was growing, everything was firing, and COVID just froze everything. And as it unthawed, it's finally warming, and you just see this economic growth, the workforce, these companies, these private companies, the payrolls. I know we had a big revision down in payrolls. I get that, guys, but something's bound to break when you keep raising interest rates to these, recent record highs. The economy is just not used to it. And that's the whole point, is you raise rates and you hold them there until something breaks. And, the economy starts to cool off. Housing prices start to come down. Payrolls start to come down. Unemployment starts to come up. That's what you want to see. That's what you have to do. It's not pretty. It's not pretty how you bring inflation under control, but it's necessary. So, the Fed's finally in there and they're getting their job done. And it looks like they didn't, possibly go too far, but obviously they know we need a rate cut now. I'm thinking they're just going to do a quarter point. What do you guys think? I don't think we're going to see the half point, because I think, we get data that says the economy is doing quite well. Consumers in too much debt. We get these payrolls revised down. We got durable goods orders, industrial orders, very, very strong. So for somebody like me, who's basically a blockhead, it's really hard to figure out exactly what's going on with the macro. Now, okay, the critical thing is we're going to get rate cuts. That's going to send demand, rocket ship emoji for SoFi, going to make a lot more money. Mr. Market is forward looking. They're going to revise all their estimates, upward, and forward guidance is everything. I mean, look at Upstart. Upstart didn't have that great a quarter, but they just gave guidance, and the guy made comments. The CEO made comments that says, hey, these numbers prove that we've turned the whole company around. This quarter proves it. And the stock is like double. I mean, it's just going crazy. I mean, that's a short squeeze. And people are like, are we going to get a gamma squeeze here? I don't think we're going to get a gamma squeeze. There's too many shares available. Cost to borrow average is 1, less than 1. So there's just not that much pressure to cover your position. Now, the flip side of that coin is if market makers get realistic, some of these shorts, and they really see the stock is going to go to the double digits, and it's probably going to stay there because you're going to have very solid Q3, but you're going to have a huge guidance raise for Q4, in my opinion. I mean, I wouldn't be at all surprised if SoFi makes 5 cents in Q3 and then, 8 cents in Q4 and 15 cents for the whole year. That's kind of where I thought they were going to be anyway. They backloaded all the profit. Noto is setting this thing up. Good tail end 2024, amazing 2025, S&P 500 inclusion, more and more buying pressure. Guys, look at the facts. Don't look at the hype. Look at the facts. Okay, this is, where are we at? Okay, this is very, very important. Institutional ownership has been going up steadily. This is the chart. Look at it. It's an all-time high, 483 million shares. Perhaps more importantly, look at the put-call ratio. Okay, you see institutional calls reach an all-time low back here around the beginning of 2023. Ever since then, the institutional calls just keep growing and growing and growing. So, 63 million, whatever, contracts. Or I don't know how they're at, 60,000 contracts, 60 million. Sorry, guys, I get confused by these decimal points. Forgive me. I'm fuckhead lexics. Just like dyslexics, but even, you're just basically fucked up in the head. You ain't screwed on right. But it's not really a disability. It's just kind of, I was kicked in the head by a mule several times. It's not funny. Me and the mule are still good friends to this day, but it didn't do anything for my cognitive ability. But guys, sorry for my ramble. If you look at the puts, this peaked here. Remember Max Fudd? Remember the KBW New Year's Santa Claus wannabe mafioso short attack, not collusion, not illegal free speech call? KBW made bookended by their friends at Morgan Fudley. Remember when the stock got hit for 20%? That was right in here. This is a huge decrease. And then this has remained flat while the calls have gone up. So you see, institutions have more calls than they do puts on the stock. This reached a peak around New Year's and is coming down. And then institutional calls have just steadily gone up since that very same point. Tiny bit of decrease here, and then, quite a significant increase here. So that's an extremely bullish signal. You just can't fake. You're looking at it over a period of, 4 years, and it's a tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme. And then you look at these companies buying into SoFi. You have the stock index, teachers, personal annuity. That looks like a new position, open up at 685. And remember, guys, these are still Q2 filings. So just look at some of the companies buying in. Small Cap Opportunities Trust. You have a tiny reduction here from Russell iShares, but you have others. increasing quite a bit. Fidelity Mid Cap Value Index Fund up 4%, 1% down here, but 13%, almost 14% increase on the iShares Russell Mid Cap ETF. They have 3.2 million shares. You have an 11% increase here on the iShares Core S&P Total. Guys, this is how it happens. This is how the stock flips. These ETFs, these index funds, and once it hits that critical $10 level, a lot more mutual funds will buy. It'll snowball. It'll get included in the S&P 500, more and more buying. And then where do you think this stock's going to be when it has the institutional ownership levels, like a Hood, like in a firm, not just 60%, but 80%, when the market makers take total control of the stock? And very few of us turds are left with any shares because we've been baited out of the shares, or we've been beaten out of the shares, or they come to our house with just baseball bats. They send over like 3 guys, really fit guys who do Tai Bo with Billy Blanks personally, like Jay-Z. If you've ever heard the song Ether, you know what I'm talking about. But these guys come to your house with aluminum baseball bats and they just beat you around the face, breast, head, neck, and chest. They beat you unmerciful until you sign over your SoFi shares in the high 7s because you're an asshole. Everybody takes a beating sometimes. Get over it. Take the beating. Diamond hands your shares. Do the right thing. And you can go down, not to make a Spike Lee reference, but do the right thing, you weak, paper-handed douchebags. Look at this Allianz Variable Insurance Product Trust. Okay, no big deal. I mean, they don't have a huge position, but they increased this one position 445%. Only about 60,000 shares. What's that, $500,000? No big whoop. Couples shorts getting out of their positions, actually increasing their, I guess that would be an increase their position because it's negative. So actually reshorting their and DanX, whatever. Master investment portfolio up 7.3%, 650,000 shares. You just see ETF, trust, advisor, mid cap value, small cap value, buy. These shorts cannot stop what's coming. They cannot stem the tide. They cannot put their fingers in all these holes in the dikes. To quote the little Dutch boy, I don't care if they're in wooden clogs. I don't care if they have silly hats. I don't care if they have tulips and windmills. I don't care if they have all the tea in China, whatever that means. What about the tea elsewhere? Just because you have all the tea in China doesn't mean you've cornered the market. There's other teas. You go down to Earth Cafe, get you some teas right now. You ain't cornering the market on nothing. Anyway, guys, I got to get out of this video because it's so stupid. Yeah, it's pushing down a little bit. The algo's pushing back down, but nothing to be extremely concerned about. If you look at these weird, they don't have any volumes on these. It's so odd. Like they stopped tracking the volume right here. Something weird happens here. I don't know. It's just something really odd happens with this stock. Like when you start to threaten these shorts, you start to push, it looks like it's going to 8. Like, dude, they hit the panic button. They start like lighting fires, calling in bomb threats, like, where? Like, excuse me, your wife's been in an accident. It's like, wait, I was just about to buy some SoFi shares for this institution. No, can't do that right now. You're needed in a parent-teacher conference. Wait, I thought you said my wife was in an accident. Well, she was racing to this parent-teacher conference. Wait, I'm not even married. I don't have any kids. Just don't buy the SoFi shares. It's like, there's definitely an agenda there. Like, you start to see, like, Goldman Sachs are raising the EPS estimates, even like the Chia Pets raising EPS estimates. Think about it. Morgan Fudley, while they're cutting their price target, they're accumulating shares. They're buying. They're pushing the price down with their analysts, and then they're buying shares. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Looked like they increased their shares in Q2. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm lying, I'm dying, guys. I may be mistaken at times. I may be portly. I may be slow of wit. I may be too short and fat to be a really good tennis player that I'd like to be. I certainly have my faults. I'm a bit verbose. They say brevity. What did they say? Brevity is the eloquence of wit or something, and I possess neither. I don't know what it was. Something about Shakespeare. But anyway, so they're pushing back down to 780. No big deal. There's not a lot of volume. So the point is, guys, there's buyers for the stock. There's no sellers for the stock. This whole thing, 620, it was just manufactured garbage. I mean, with high frequency trading, these algorithms, enough money, they can make the price go anywhere they want, very, very temporarily. But over the longer term, I mean, this is a setup here. It moved up. It's going higher. Period. Fundamentals say it. Options say it. Macro says it. Noto says it. Counterparties say it. Everybody wants a stock up who matters. And then Goldman's going to flip the switch, and these shorts are going to be completely hung out to dry, and they're going to add a lot of buying pressure to the situation. Then it's going to be right up where Noto wants it, right when Noto wants it. Be Q4, early 2025, I don't know. But I know he's going to push the stock up. These guys didn't go into this deal with a maybe. These guys didn't go into this deal, oh, I hope we make money. Maybe we'll get slaughtered. That's not what these people do, folks. That's not what Noto does. It's not a guess. They came into this deal knowing how much money they're going to make. They pushed the price down in the sixes, knowing that these counterparties were they're going to accumulate. So when they push this price up, they're going to make money 8 different ways to Sunday. And all you can do is hang on, enjoy the ride. You can't time it. You don't know what's going to happen. We're not in the club. We're not privy to the information. And that's just the way it is, guys. I got to get out of this stupid broadcast. It was crappy right from the beginning. Poco Mas Tequila for Alberto. Alberti needs a drink after watching this broadcast. He definitely wants to ban somebody, give somebody a timeout. It's the only reason he's here. Hello and welcome, TJ. Again, TJ, the Wheel Deal, the great TJ in the house. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. We got Yukeko72, an old friend. Nice run up. Good to see you, Yukeko. Indeed. Very nice day. They're pushing back down, but again, nothing to worry about. The buyers are there. There's still some shorts. There's still, penny flippers taking profits. There's swing traders. There's day traders. They always take profits around this time. So don't worry about it. Probably run back up a little bit late in the day. Maybe close about 785, 786. We'll have to see. Probably on, 30 million shares traded or whatever it is. So we'll just have to see. But again, it's a positive day. Midday looks like it's going to push up a little bit right here. We'll just have to see. But I just don't see what the bears think is going to happen into these rate cuts. That's going to hurt SoFi's business. The defaults aren't there. Nothing they said is going to happen is there. The bad money raise isn't there. The balance sheet pressure isn't there. The lack of lending capacity isn't there. There's no regulatory issues. There's no contagion with these, banks that got in trouble with, their bond bets where they put their money. It's none of this stuff applies to SoFi. None of the FUD you're putting on the banking sector. None of this stuff applies to SoFi when you drill down on it. It's just all kind of misappropriated FUD. Don't get that FUD on me. That ain't my FUD. That smells like you. That shoe don't belong to Cinderella. It smells like it belongs at a bowling alley. Needs some of that extra spray. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got. 25 million shares traded on the day. SoFi up about 2%, 15 cents. Big freaking whoop. It should have been, should be $5 higher than this already, but everything's lining up, guys. The stars are aligning, and stock's going to go up, period. I'll stake my reputation as a gentleman on that. It's Un Poco Mas, guys. Want to thank Not a Lurker. Want to thank Alberto. Want to thank all of you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a great day. And that's about it. Peace. I'm out. It's Un Poco Mas, by the way. It's SoFi Stock, ticker symbol SOFI. Peace. I'm out of here.